Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with another episode of the Hallmark Christmas book versus the Christmas movie, and this one is a Bramble House Christmas. I don't know how I discovered this. I've been Googling like different Christmas books that have been turned into Christmas movies and what I have access to, and so my Friendly app had the movie and my library had the audiobook, and the audiobook was pretty short. It was about 5.5 hours, and the premise sounds so good. It's a single parent romance. Our heroine is a single mom, and this is already, like, it's so interesting to me what different details the books and movies decide to make different, because in the book, the heroine's son has just recovered from leukemia, and so he had cancer, and he is now cancer-free, but she's always paranoid and horrified for their future that it can come back, because she has also learned that it's more common to come back in young boys and over young girls, and even just knowing that statistic has her so freaked out. And in the movie, she is worried because I think he had like a heart condition or something and he had surgery, but there wasn't cancer. And so in the book, I feel like it did have a lot more urgency, I guess, with the fact that he had recovered from cancer, and so that's why he spent most of his childhood in hospitals, and I understood why she was so overbearing over him, more so than in the movie, so that really made sense to me in the book. And I didn't even tell you the premise. So the premise of this story is that our heroine is a nurse, and she is like a nurse for hire. She wasn't able to like keep up her job as a nurse in a hospital because of how much time she had to take off for her son, and so she is like a home nurse. I don't remember what that's called, but she will take on jobs of people who need her, and our hero's father hires her at his end of life care because the hero's father died of pancreatic cancer. I believe it was pancreatic cancer, but the father did not tell any of his children or his ex-wife that he was dying of cancer. He didn't want to be a bother or a burden, and so he didn't tell anybody that he was dying, and he grew really close with our heroine and left her $50,000 in the book. In the movie, he leaves her all of his money, $100,000, and sets up this vacation for her at Bramble House that he has a connection to. And this connection is actually more explained in the book than it is in the movie. There was like a huge plot line the movie left out, which I thought was very interesting. And so the hero is like, what is this? Who is this woman who like swindled my father out of money? Did she like seduce him and like get money out of old people kind of thing? And so in both the book and the movie, he decides to follow her to Bramble House to uncover why she got the money from his father, but doesn't tell her who he is. And now he is actually a children's illustrator, and in both the book and the movie, this is my favorite part, the son is obsessed with the books that he illustrates, and so they bond over that, and they do a surprise for his mom with that, the son's mom, and I thought this was so adorable. I really loved the single parent aspect, and the son was like such a great addition to the book and the story. And I don't know if it's because like I saw it play out and I wasn't the biggest fan of the actor who played the hero. He seemed so much angrier in the movie than in the book, and kind of like sinister, I guess. Like in the beginning, he's talking to his sister, who was not a character in the book. From what I remember, she didn't have as big of a storyline. Like I think he had a couple siblings in the book, but she didn't come into play, and she comes into play later on in the movie, and I really did not like her character. But he was like so angry about like the fact that his dad didn't leave them money, and I hate what money does to families and people, especially when people die. I'm like, your loved one just died and you're only caring about the money. And so he's so angry that his father passed away and that none of them got money, that he's like, I need to go see this woman now. And so I get like maybe that's his way of dealing with the grief, but I feel like the grief was more so about the fact that his father never told him that he was dying in the book. So I really felt that grief in the book more so than in the movie, though I think it was sweet that she does talk about how the father did tell her about his family in both of them, so like he knows his father still loved him. So I really like that aspect, that she knew about him in both of the adaptations, but that she didn't know like it was him. And I will say it's a little problematic. He's hiding from her who he is, and they fall in love. And my only thing I just really rubbed me the wrong way about the book is the fact that they actually slept together before it was revealed who he was. And that just makes me feel a little icky, and I feel like I give it more of a pass in historicals, because like those are historical romances. That's all drama and action and different time period, but like contemporary romances, if you're hiding your true identity from someone and you do that in a relationship and take the relationship to the next level, it just feels icky that like she did not know who you really are, and she doesn't learn that until after that. So that did knock it down a little bit for me in the book, because that does not happen in the movie. Like, this is a Hallmark movie. Nothing PG, even 13, happens in Hallmark movies, so that doesn't happen in the movie. But we do have the sister of his being a sort of like villainous character in the movies, which I didn't really love. But the whole plot line that they took out was this plot line with his father and his father's like family and the family that lives at Bramble House. And so they had a little bit of that. They had the woman who owned the chocolate shop in the movie and the woman who owns Bramble House, and she kind of had her own romance in the movie, which I actually thought was really cute. That was not in the book, but there was a lot more with the Bramble family in the book, and the heroine actually like got a ring from his father, and they have the same ring at Bramble House, and like talked about what that meant. And there was a lot more family drama in the book, which I actually really liked, that added depth to the plot than just that they're staying at this house and he's trying to figure out who she is. And so I did enjoy that about the book, and the figuring things out and him trying to figure things out and come to terms with his family. And I normally don't like family plots taking over romance, but this didn't take over the romance, so I really did enjoy that aspect and getting so many more characters. And Santa was a character, and I was surprised they didn't include that part of him in the movie, because like they had Santa, he just like dressed up as Santa, but he was a love interest for the woman at Bramble House. In the book, Santa was staying at Bramble House and was like insinuated that it was Santa, and that he was helping her son feel the magic of Christmas again, because he didn't believe in Santa anymore because of being in the hospital. He just figured it out, and Santa like talks to him and he's like, well, don't you want to like tell me what you want for Christmas? He's like, it's okay, my mom's getting me everything I want, I know, it's fine. And like he kind of like tells him things and makes him believe in Christmas again, and it was so sweet, and that was not in the movie. And I will say, for the movie, the acting was not my favorite. I watched this with my sister, and we were like, some of these lines are not being delivered that well, and so that did deter it. I've been watching some really amazing Christmas movies though from Hallmark with amazing actors and actresses. Like, it's not as cheesy as people make it out to be. There are some that are not cheesy and have really good acting. This one is a couple years old, and I will say the acting was not my favorite, but I'm excited though, because I know there are some like staple Hallmark actors that people love. Who was in the first movie that I did, Dashing Through the Snow? Andrew Walker, I think. I've recorded a couple of his movies, so I'm really excited for that. But in this movie, the acting was not my favorite, though the actress is from a show, and I forget which show it was, but my sister, it was at the OC, she like immediately recognized who the actress was from a previous show that was like out in the early 2000s, and so the acting not my favorite. And so, as you can tell from my discussion, the book I'm giving 3.5 stars, but I'm rounding it up to 4. The more I talk about it though, like, I genuinely liked it, and I think I liked it more after watching the movie, because when I finished I was like, oh, 3.5 stars, but after watching the movie I'm like, but this is so much better, so I'm giving it 4 stars. And then the movie is 3.5, but rounding down to 3. Because it just, the acting probably is what makes it rounded down to 3, and it just left out so many more of the things that I loved that were in the book. And so the book won for this one, which is surprising because my last one, the movie, won. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we are tied again with 2 for the book and 2 for the Hallmark movie, which is really exciting because I love it when the books win, but I also love it when the movies do it justice as well. So I really enjoyed this movie and this story, and I would definitely recommend them, and I'm excited for my next one because I did just finish reading my next one and I'm watching it next week, and I can't wait to bring you guys more of these videos. I'm so happy that you're enjoying them. If there are any others you want me to do, please let me know. But that is all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.